guys, welcome in the chat. So I am here to talk. Hold on, I'm gonna get my chair.
I'm here to talk. He's here.
Love it.
He's here to talk.
He's here to talk, y'all. I hope you're ready to listen.
Right. He's here to talk. I might need to
Ew.
Oh, what? Oh, he's just chewing on stuff. Let me change a setting.
So,
real
we are
quick.
seeing on you on. Don't forget to purchase the merch.
Yeah.
Better purchase that merch. Better listen to this baby child.
Right.
And we're on Streamlabs.
Yeah, I need to change the chat. I think it's a little bit too big.
Oh, you don't have to
That's
do
right.
Streamlabs
Merch
with
the
their
merch.
chat. You don't have to.
I don't have to what?
You don't have to do Streamlabs with their chat.
Let me see. Uh-oh, we disappeared.
Oh no.
Where did we go?
We're back. Let me see.
Okay.
So I am gonna tell
That's
you.
better. Okay, cool.
So you are guys on text, and if you want to see on text, please on text anyone
Text anyone. Text anyone you like.
or Streamlabs.
Reach out to somebody. Text them. Say hello.
Hey, yeah.
I like it.
So-
Promoting connection.
I am gonna talk to the chat, and Diana, you are do the test.
Okay, well, we'll do the. Okay, so hello everyone. I forgot to
Welcome.
put Diana's thingy on the background.
That's all right.
Y'all better know Diana
see
by
you.
now, okay?
No, I
I
just
mean, I'm
I
saying,
told-
if y'all don't know me by
I
now, where you
told-
been?
you to do the test.
To do the test.
Test.
Well, I was just looking at the chat to see the size of it. But today we're going to be talking about Black entrepreneurship and its impact on your mental health. And this is
Yeah.
something I'm currently experiencing, so it's very
Yeah.
close to my heart.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I'm talking.
You can talk, buddy, but no one's in the chat yet.
Oh.
You can say hi to everyone like you usually do when they come in, but no one's there yet. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna
yeah.
let Diana start with she's gonna hit you with some stats and some facts, and then
I ain't got no stats, but I got some stuff.
she's gonna hit you with some stuff,
Yeah.
and then
So-
I'll contribute.
Yeah, so go ahead and get yourself together.
So you are guys gonna
Shh. Diana speaking, buddy.
gonna
Yeah, there's no one in the chat yet, buddy. You can say hi when they come in the chat, okay?
talk
When someone comes in the chat, you can say hello.
a lot of times.
Yeah, as soon as someone comes in, but you can't hear Diana when she's speaking.
Okay.
If I'm not speaking, then she's speaking. Okay?
So yeah, Black entrepreneurship, y'all. Me as usual. Again, if you're new here, you may not know, but Doña and I usually chat the night before about what we're gonna be talking about today. And yeah, this topic was heavy on her mind, and I'm like, let's chat it up. So I had to go and get myself some information and some knowledge because I'm not an entrepreneur. So I was like, what types of things might a Black entrepreneur be dealing with besides just kind of the obvious stressors of trying to be an entrepreneur and run a business, start a business. But yeah, some of the things that I came across were just a few different articles. And a lot of what they were talking about is they were talking about very similar things across all of them. And essentially, one of the main things is just the stress
You
that
can't
comes
hear the
in
sound.
general from like
in
I
my
said,
headphones.
trying to start a business, but also having limited access to capital, and just the stressors that causes. So just not having the resources, really just limited access to resources in general, like not just capital, but
Mm-hmm.
information, mentors, somebody who's done this before, like literally like walking the path that you're trying to walk or pave. And just really just having access to those things is a big stressor. Something they were talking about in the articles as well is that having limited access to these resources creates this like scarcity mindset where essentially what you have, you fear that that's the only thing you're going to have, right? So if you do have, let's say you do get your hands on $5,000, right, to grow your business, And maybe the most beneficial thing for you to do is to advertise, spend that money on advertising. But um, maybe you're looking at your inventory and you're like, oh, shoot, I don't have a lot of product though. What if I went out of product and all these people want my product? So let me make sure while I got this $5,000, let me make sure I buy all the product I'm gonna need for the next year or
Mm-hmm.
something like that, right? As opposed to thinking long term, which somebody might say, well, Diana, that's a year. That is long term. Well, not necessarily when you're growing a business, right? You might want to think more so in terms of growing your client base or growing growing your client base. So advertising and gaining access to more customers and clients would be a more beneficial spend of that $5,000 in the long run, right, to grow your business. But it doesn't feel that way because you're like, I'm not going to get $5,000 again, so I need to make the most of this right now. I
Mm-hmm.
have to make sure that I make the right decision right now, and that's one of the, I think the hardest parts of the scarcity mindset is that you have this idea that um, every decision has to be the absolute right decision. There is no room for mistakes. There's no room for messing anything up because you're not going to bounce back. You don't have
Right.
that cushion to bounce back. So it's got to be right. And that's a lot of pressure. A
It
lot of
really is.
pressure. Even if you know everything about what you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
that in itself is so much pressure. But then add on top of that the fact that you are learning and trying to navigate a lot of different new areas and avenues that and things that you've not done before. So you don't have all of the answers. Um, so that makes it incredibly stressful and hard to have to be perfect and right and correct with every decision and step you make without having all of the information at hand.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's like, yeah. So again, it's just stress. Like it's just stress compounded on stress with all of these different things. It was also talking about the tendency for in entrepreneurship to be uh, it's hard to not tie the money that you're
Buddy.
making in your business to the
Oh,
worth
you're
to your
welcome.
worth as a person.
Yeah.
um, and if you're not growing your business or getting a lot of turning a lot of profit, you might start to think, well, okay, what's wrong with me? I'm not good enough. I'm X, Y's, and Z's, as opposed to maybe looking at how uh, just the business might naturally be ebbing and flowing. Yeah. So that's just like kind of, I feel like that's just a jump off. I feel like there's so many other things that go into the different stressors that come along with entrepreneurship, um, and trying to navigate that while also being Black in America. Um,
Right.
and, like there's just so much. So yeah, those are just some of the first, like some of the few things that I found common through all of the different articles that just kind of came up with a quick little Google search that I did this morning.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean it makes a lot of sense, and there's just a lot of pressure um, coming from external forces.
Yeah,
Not even
absolutely.
not even the ones that are coming from the internal, which is
Mm-hmm.
yourself
Yeah.
and your drive to perform and to you've got this drive to build a business. You're motivated. You're ambitious. So that already creates a bit of pressure, probably good pressure,
Mm-hmm.
but um there's a fine line from when it teeters over to being unhelpful, because
Yeah.
you're putting so much weight on yourself to reach your goals, and any setback that you see, you look at it as something that is, mm, you potentially might see that as something as like taking it personally
Yeah,
because you've
absolutely.
invested so much of yourself into this.
Mm-hmm.
um, so yeah, in thinking about those things, again, I'm assuming, well, I should say, as I was reading those things, like I saw a lot of what you've been describing to me, um, in that. So I'm assuming that it resonates with you pretty strongly, some of those things.
Just a little bit.
Hmm.
The scarcity mindset takes me back to a conversation we were having, like maybe a month or two ago when I was telling you, like, I'm not sure if I should get a part-time job and continue to do coaching, or if I should, just go all in because, at the end of the day, like you said, there's this huge drive and this desire to want to be an entrepreneur. There's a drive to want to build your own business and to create something that you know is going to benefit people in the way that you want to do it, and not have to go through anyone else's, for example, like, the first thing I think of is like teaching, I know that being a teacher is highly impactful. However, I also know that being a teacher in the US is trash because even though you are still impacting children somewhat in a way that you want to, as far as providing that mentorship, providing, teaching them life skills, more than just what's in the classroom, you yourself are not treated and basically handled with care. You know what I mean?
You're not valued.
Yeah, you're not valued at all. Yes.
Tell me if the chat's gonna say goodbye to me.
Okay. I'll call you, buddy.
Okay.
So same thing when it comes to entrepreneurship. Like, when I think of life coaching, okay, I'll call you. Someone comes in the chat. I'm sure that there are ways that I could go like up under some company or whatever to kind of branch out and coach people or whatever, but I wouldn't be able to, I wouldn't be able to just exist as myself. I would have to mold in some sort of way or change some sort of way. And then, there's always the other side of it as far as the other part of life. You know what I mean? Like, the fact that I have 2 children at home, am I going to be able to work a part-time or full-time job and do coaching? Because I know that's what a lot of Black people do, is they stay in their full-time jobs and then they pursue their entrepreneurial interests like on the side, which I can understand, especially from a financial standpoint, how that would be beneficial, because you have this kind of like safe spot of, as long as I show up to this job, they're going to pay me. You know what I mean? As long as I show up and do my 8 hours, they're going to pay me. So my finances are taken care of in that aspect. But then you have the mental struggle of, okay, well, am I putting forth everything that I can with my business? Do I even believe that my business is going to grow? Am I giving it the attention and time that it needs in order to flourish?
Michaela.
Hey, Michaela. You didn't have to write tests in the chat.
Michaela, welcome to the castle. I am gonna talk to you. Michaela, can you please say hi to me and Doña?
So there's always this balance of, or this battle of, am I giving my business everything
Say hi,
that I
Doña.
need? I see, buddy. Am I giving my business everything that I need? Am I playing it too safe? Am I avoiding this risk? And a lot of times, one of the biggest issues is I don't make enough in my regular full-time 9-to-5 job to set aside funds to give myself that little nest egg of a couple $1,000s so I can dive in 100% to my business. How long would that take? That might take someone 2 years, which I'm not saying that's not worth it, but I also know that when it comes to being an entrepreneur and owning a small business, you get out of it what you put into it. So as wonderful as it is to, have the opportunity
Mommy,
to,
look. Yeah.
ooh, you spit up all over me, dude. To invest in ads and all that stuff. That's a whole nother animal when it comes to, which ones are beneficial, which ones aren't beneficial, which ones are going to help me get my target audience, which social media platform do I want to stay on and stick on? Do I need to be on every social media platform? Like, that was a whole, because depending on who you ask, you're going to get, DJ, stop. That's too loud. You're going to get conflicting information. And that, again, like you mentioned, as far as mentors go, makes it really, really difficult. And I have purchased coaching before, coaching for coaches. And I refer back to it every once in a while, but there are certain things within that coaching that are just like, not, like, she shares about, how to show up on social media, essentially for every single person who's looking to create a client base. You want to show up as an expert. You want to show up as an expert, share your expertise and knowledge, and basically invite people to work with you if this is something that they're struggling with. This could be literally anything. You could be a dentist. You could be an auto body repair shop person. Doesn't really matter, but that's your goal, is to show up as an expert. So then you have people saying, well, if I tell them everything, why would they be my client? Like, why would they buy from me if I tell them everything? And like,
Mm-hmm.
think about it yourself. Do you want to change your own tires? No. But if someone tells you exactly how to do it, you now have confidence and trust in that person that they know what they're doing. You're like, yeah, I'm going to that person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Diana knows a thing or two about tires. Okay, so I'm going to her.
There
You know, I know she works at the VA, but
I heard she
something
knows things about the
something
tires.
tells me she knows about tires. So it makes sense intuitively. It definitely makes sense, but how do you do that? What is the process? I'm that kind of person. Like, I'm trying to see tutorials. Like, don't just tell me show up as an expert. What does that look like? You know, so I found like, yeah,
guidance.
Give me step by step and guidance. So excuse me, another huge component is to get people off of social media. You want to be able to contact people on their own. You want to be able to email people directly or text people directly, whatever. Maybe I should start collecting cell phone numbers. That's a thought that just popped into my head.
Write that down.
Right. But, and that's something else that's like, you know, all the social media platforms are encouraging you to keep all your customers on social media. They're teaching you ways to sell on social media. They're teaching you how to do whatever it is on their platform because they don't want people to leave their platform. And what do you want as a business owner? You want people off the platform. You want to be able to, you know, literally slide into someone's mailbox or someone's email or someone's text message inbox, not just their DMs. You know, you want to be able to contact that person directly so that you can actually communicate with your target audience. But again, that's like, well, how do I do that? I can tell everyone and their mother that there's a link in my bio. I can tell everybody, you know what I mean? And one of the struggles that I'm facing right now is the social media platform that's working the best for me as of right now, as far as conversations and, you know, actually getting engagement on my posts is TikTok. Well, there's a lot of things on TikTok that I can't do, but I can do on Instagram. Like on Instagram, I can post a story and put a link. People don't have to do anything. All they got to do is literally click the link. Can I do that on TikTok? Nope. Can I put a link? I don't know if I can put a link in my posts on TikTok. TikTok they are definitely aware of the momentum that they have. And so they're kind of, I don't want to say making it difficult, but basically, yeah. So initially, a couple of years ago, when I started a TikTok account, you could put a link in your bio, no problem. Now, if you start a TikTok account today, I think you have to get up to 1,000 followers before you can put a link in your, Whereas Instagram is still the same. You can create an Instagram account right now. It doesn't matter if you put, I think you have to switch to a business account, which is fine, but you can put a link in your bio, no problem.
Okay.
It's, you know what I mean? Like, so there's that aspect of it. Yeah, so then it's like, okay, should I invest time, energy, or money to learn how to get my Instagram to take back off? Because my Instagram posts used to do well, but the posts that I post on TikTok don't do well on Instagram. What I post on TikTok, yes, the struggle.
I'm like, okay,
yes.
I mean, 'cause, you know, I'm just social media in the dark. But
Mommy.
Okay, wait, no, that sounds like a whole different social media platform.
They can pick food.
Yes, you can give them food. You can give them a lot of food on top. Put them on the top floor. So
I am social media unaware. So yeah, I would have never thought about those different
yes,
try to figure out how to navigate your business and how you reach your customers through each different platform. Like that.
Yes, they're all a little bit different. So what I post on TikTok are essentially like role play conversations. I'll play the role of two people. I'll be like over here and I'll say something, and then I'll be over here and I'll say something else, and I'll edit it so it looks like we're speaking to each other. And so it's a skit, you know, it's a role play. That kind of content does really great on TikTok, because not only you're educating people, but you're giving them scripts, you know, of how a scenario like this would go. If someone says this to you, here's how you can respond. Because it's different when I just tell you, hey Diana, if someone says, you know, your hair is too curly, here's how you can respond. You know what I mean? Like versus that that back and forth, you know, makes you feel as though you're actually observing the conversation. That content does not do well on Instagram at all. And so when I post those videos on Instagram, I get nothing. And then I have one post on Instagram that's just me talking to the camera, telling people that they need to believe I started off by saying, like, believe them the first time, beloved. When someone makes you feel unseen, unheard, unwanted, unloved, believe them the first time. And then I talk a little bit about, actions are more powerful than words, blah, blah, blah. But it was just a random video. Did I include a call to action? No. But that video has like 200 and something thousand views, a bajillion plays, tons of comments, but it's not doing anything for me because there's no call to action. Because
right there, yeah, it's not connecting them back to you.
Exactly. Nowhere in the video do I say, hey, I'm a self-love coach, and if you want to work with me, click the link. Nowhere in that video, nowhere in the caption, nowhere in nothing. So people are just commenting, oh my goodness, this is so true, I agree, and I'm like, great, this doesn't help me at all.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
And that's another part of it, like trying to figure out the algorithm and all sort of crap. So of course it's possible to pay to promote certain posts on social media, which is great. But then you have to make sure that like the post that you are promoting is like, I don't want to say well-rounded enough, but kind of like it has to check all the boxes. It has to educate, it has to pull people back. It has to have that call to action. Hey, Raylene, welcome in, love.
Welcome.
So yeah, there's just a lot of things to consider, it's just, so then a part of me, like I said, is like, okay, well, I know what works well on TikTok. Like no problem. I don't even have to post every day. I could post like 3 times a week. No problem.
Okay.
However, do I equate the comments and engagement that I'm getting with gathering clients? You know what I mean? Because that's not how I've gotten one client from TikTok so far. She didn't even know I was a life coach. She came across my content. She was like, oh my goodness, I just really resonate with her. And then she said she clicked the link in my bio, and then, the rest is history.
Okay.
The other clients that I've gotten have all actually been from Twitch and these daily live streams. But I don't know how to promote these. Like, I don't know because if I promote them, it would just be on other social media platforms. Like, I would just be telling people on TikTok, hey, check out my Twitch every day, 7:30. Or on Instagram, hey, check out my, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to promote my Twitch on Twitch. I don't know how to do that. So, it's just a lot of...
There's nothing wrong with promoting it on the other things.
True. The only thing is...
Go ahead.
On TikTok, nobody watches my stories, and that's how I'd have to promote it. If I don't post it on TikTok as like a skit, no one's gonna watch it or engage with it. If I put it on my story, just like as a, hey, this is happening, stories stay up for like 24 hours. Hey, this is happening, blah, blah, blah. Now, to your point though, there wouldn't be any harm in doing it. You know what I mean? And that's the stuff that I battle with. Like, is it worth it? If I know that right now no one's watching my story, do I post it anyway? Because what harm is it going to do?
Well, so as you were talking, right, there's no harm. There's no harm.
Mm-hmm.
What's to stop you from making a skit of like, hey, beloved, where can I find some blah, 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 blah? I got a daily Twitch. You know what I mean? Like,
that's true.
Build your own commercial with the content people are interacting with.
That's true. That could absolutely work.
Just an idea.
Right.
This is just turned into like a brainstorming thing.
I know, right? It definitely has. Well, that's very true. I mean, that's very true.
But yeah, I think like that's... So again, I think that like linking it back to what we're talking about, I think that that speaks to the fact that like, where are the spaces to have these conversations, to have this to be able to have these like back and forth and brainstormings, or like, this is what I'm struggling with. Hey, how about how about you? How have you figured out the algorithm, or how have you how do you post? How do you interact with social media? Like, there's that lack of mentorship because it's not something that is, we're likely going to be the first person in our family that's starting a business like this. Or you know what I mean? So there's just no like generational mentorship, but then it's like, okay, so we got to go outside of that to find out. And that can be really hard. One of the things I came across in the articles I was reading was the idea of having like, I think they call it like an accountability person, but essentially it's like at least have a person that you have that you trust and feel safe and like that to be vulnerable with about all the things that you're doing with your business, right? Like they know what your goals are and how you're working to achieve them, and so they can
Bless
kind of
you.
understand. Oh, yes, bless you, little one. They can understand like what struggles you might be facing, or you can express to them the struggles that you're facing, and
Mm-hmm.
they can help give you a reality check. Like, hey, you're only focused on these negatives right now. I need to help you. I'm gonna help you look at these positives that you've got going on with your business, because it's so easy to get stuck in the negativity of it, because
Yeah.
that's the truth. Like, if it's going good, you're not going to focus on that, because that's fine. That doesn't need my attention. I
Mm-hmm.
need to fix what's not going good with my baby. My baby's not doing well over here. I got to fix this. So you're
Right.
going to only be focused on the negative stuff, and that can keep you in a negative space. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, for lack of a better way of describing it. So yeah, like having an accountability person is like, yeah, I think just really important to give you that reality check, essentially, if you're fixated only on the bad stuff.
Yeah. My best friend Sabrina is also, well, she's actually both. She's one of the people who she has been in she's been working at her job for like 20 years. She works for I want to say it's like the city or the county or something like that.
Hmm.
But she's been working there forever, but she's also a life coach. And it's just, she has it's different but the same kind of when it comes to like our financial goals, for example. Like sometimes she had mentioned to me a little while ago that she's been working on getting her monthly client income to be $1,000.
Hmm.
um but like when it comes to what she's done to do that, she's like, all I do is I just keep talking about the fact that I'm a life coach. Like I keep reminding everyone, I keep putting it everywhere. Every post that I make sure that I mention it. She said because she's had people who have said, like, who share her post and was like, I had no idea you were a life coach. And she's like,
Okay.
what do you mean? You share my posts all the time. But there are people, and I'll admit that I do it too. Sometimes I see someone's post, and just because it's from that person, I know it's going to be good, and I don't read it, I just share it. I trust you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So it could
Because
be
they
one of
showed up
those.
as an expert and showed you they knew what they was talking about.
Right? Right? Exactly. Raylene says, even when you do have generational mentorship, they may not be good at mentoring. Right. Like for me, there's a few music tutors in my family, but they only have I kind of just do it, answer to everything. She said,
Yeah.
I love these mythical mentions of Sabrina. She was on the stream once. Really, remember when we had that conversation about we had two. One was about healing your inner child. The other one was about our practice-based situations, called Practice Beta Fiance. That should be a show. Mm-hmm. You've seen her, I think. But yeah, I just kind of do it. I feel that because again, not everybody is a good teacher or mentor.
No, that's very true. That's very true.
Like it's a fact. Not it ain't
I
for
mean, yeah,
everyone.
because just telling me like, hey, that I just do it, like, yeah, that's not going to help me navigate this completely foreign thing to me.
Right,
Like,
and that's
and oh my
that's
gosh,
the
but Jesus,
biggest
like, holy
thing.
smokes, like that's really tough.
That's the biggest thing, is this is foreign to me. As much as I, like you said, I know what steps I need to take. We could talk about this all the time, all day long. But in addition to knowing what steps I need to take, then I have the like reality of my situation. In addition to implementing those steps, how do I navigate my child giving me time to work while I'm at home? You know what I mean? Like, if the baby is taking a nap and I tell DJ I'm working, and he comes in every 15 minutes, are you done? Do you want to play with me? I'm like, bruh. I would love to, but I need to do this. So I'm answering a lot of my own questions as far as, finding ways to keep myself mentally on task for the things that I know I should be doing, but I haven't been doing, But yeah, there's a lot of hats to wear. That's the biggest thing. There's lots and lots of hats to wear. And
yeah. I mean, there's lots of hats to wear in life. When you put on an entrepreneur hat, you're putting on like 6 different hats. On top of all the other hats that you've already been wearing.
Exactly.
Like, you just got this giant head that can just fit all these hats. Uh,
These
yeah.
hats be so heavy. These hats be so heavy.
Oh my goodness. Because no, I was thinking about like, um, you had said something earlier, like like if it might take you 2 years to save up that capital, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is not a bad thing. And I'm thinking, okay, no, it's not a bad thing. But what do you do during that 2 years? To keep
Exactly.
yourself mentally strong,
Right.
to keep you pushing towards your goal and keep you on task, keep you entrepreneurial minded and able to keep
Right.
pushing towards your goals, feeling mentally fit and stable and um wanting to engage with these things still.
Yeah. Let me grab the baby's chair
Like
real quick.
how do you go ahead, do your thing.
But yeah, it's
But like,
true.
how do you do that?
Mm-hmm.
um and I think leaning on your village is a big part of it, whether they're part of the entrepreneurial struggle or not.
Mm-hmm.
I think leaning on your village is important.
Yeah, that's very true. Leaning, yeah. Like full lean.
Mm-hmm.
These hats is time consuming. What's up, Sudsy? You are absolutely correct. These hats are very time consuming. Oh,
Oh, there
but
it is.
yeah.
Okay.
Leaning in on your villages
Right here.
is really, really, really important. And like, not believing or not trying to convince yourself that you can't ask for support from your village. Like,
Yeah.
My sister-in-law just started a new job, and so my mom has been, basically with the kids all day, like doing everything for her 3 kids, because she goes into work at like 7. Kids have to be at school at 7:30, I think. Mom takes them up, does all the things, and so now I'm like, dang, now I got less of a
you got one you down one villager. Like
I'm down like my only villager.
Like your main villager. Like,
exactly. I'm down my primary villager. Oh no. Primary villager. And then it's like, okay, like our county definitely offers support if you have children and you have a job. But technically I don't have a job. Technically,
right.
According to the county, I'm just at home bonding with my child. You know what I mean? So, here, Bob. Cover, cat, little baby, little bit. No, okay. He's like, I'm trying to figure this belt thing out. But yeah, so then there's that part of it. Like, okay, well, if I apply for the support from the county in regards to childcare for having a job, what job do I write down that I have?
Right.
Struggle. When in reality, I don't think that should be a stipulation. I think that everyone should be able to have access to support if you have children.
Yes.
I don't think it should just be what's the word, like determined or whatever, dependent on you having a job or not. I don't think that's a thing. I think everyone should be able to be like, yo, can I just have somebody come over for like 3 hours? Because I ain't done laundry in weeks.
I need a
you know
moment.
What I mean? Right?
Like,
just can I just go to the store without children?
I mean, honestly, everybody's life in that store would be much better.
I agree.
Like that shopping trip would be more pleasant for everybody in the store that day.
Totally
like,
agree.
Just let me go by myself.
Totally agree. Raylene says, also side note, why is it so hard with taxes or to officially state that you're self-employed? Forms always be like, who's your company employer? And I'm like, me.
Me, myself, and I.
It's true. And that's a whole nother level to it, right? Educating yourself in that realm when it comes to taxes and don't mess around.
I understand taxes for regular jobs. Right. Like, how am I supposed to figure it out when I'm the job? Like,
right. My tutoring business, I messed around and hired 2 employees from out of state. The struggle was so real. They were like, oh, she lives in Delaware? Oh, she lives in Pennsylvania? Oh, it's going to be different. I was like, why? They're like, you got to register for this and that and this and that. And my employee that lived in Pennsylvania, she had 1 student and then she didn't have a student anymore. So she was on the payroll, but she wasn't getting paid. And the state of Pennsylvania kept emailing or mailing me stuff talking about, you got to pay this. And I'd open it and it'd be like a penny. And I'm like, y'all really murdered a
Y'all
tree?
sent a y'all wasted a stamp that cost more than this for like.
Right.
Why didn't y'all just give her the stamp? Like,
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay.
that's weird. That's so weird.
Show. I thought I was doing my due diligence. Like, you know what? It's gonna be an online tutoring business. We'll take everybody. It doesn't matter where you
Right.
live. You know what I mean? We'll figure out the time change it, because my goal was to connect with all students everywhere, like across
Well,
the
that's where
U.S.
you messed up trying to help everybody.
How dare
Stop
I?
it.
How
Stop
dare
it.
I?
How very dare you?
How dare I?
Ugh.
It's the audacity.
It is. It is.
It's
I
the
mean,
audacity.
come on. Come on.
So sorry,
Should have known
friends.
better.
So sorry.
You should have known better. Oh my goodness.
I just wanted to help.
But that was so. That's another thing though. Like being able to accept help. Like for
Yeah.
you, like okay. So I think you were talking about like be willing to ask for help, but I think another side of that is being willing to accept the help.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to do it all by yourself. Just because this is your baby, your brainchild, your business, doesn't
Right.
mean that you have to do everything alone.
True.
You know, and again, that's a hard thing to unlearn, especially in the Black community. Like,
Yeah.
you know, Black superwoman syndrome is real.
And it's so deep. So deep.
It's yeah.
Yeah. It will straight up have us believing that you are not only weak, but like something must be wrong with you if you can't do all this on your own.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, well,
Yeah.
you decided to be an entrepreneur. Why don't you know how to do everything? Like,
Hello.
what? Wait a minute.
Exactly. Like no entrepreneur knows everything.
Exactly.
So I don't care how smart you are, you're not supposed to know everything.
Right.
And it's okay not to know everything. Like you're learning. Like it's just It's just
It's a lot.
it's such a mind jumble because it's like I'm supposed to know everything, to know everything. If I don't know everything, that means I'm weak, I'm wrong, I'm bad, I'm stupid, I'm whatever.
All
I'm
the
not meant to
things.
be doing this.
Yep.
And I can't tell anybody that because that's embarrassing and shameful, and
Yeah.
I've got to just hold all of that inside all. Ugh, that's just ugh.
I agree.
You know,
I agree with that sound.
something that just something that I came across though that I think was really, really important was talking about your perspective as a Black entrepreneur, right? Like you might be the only Black voice in a space when you're trying to grow your business or do whatever it is that you're trying to do with your business, right? Be the only Black voice in that space.
Right.
And the point that this article made was how important it is that your perspective in those moments be that, oh my gosh, I'm the only Black voice. What's wrong with me? Why am I here? No.
Yeah.
What is wrong with this space that I am the only Black voice in it?
Absolutely.
You know, the fact that you are the only Black voice, that is a gift to that room, not the other way around.
Right.
That room has now gifted you with the ability to be in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was I thought that was such a powerful sentiment, and I think it's really important I think in all ways, but especially with entrepreneurship, like to have that perspective. That your identity, your experiences, what you have to bring to the table is a gift to that space and a gift to the world. It is not a hindrance. It is not an obstacle.
Yeah, that's true. Raylene said, also sometimes not doing stuff on your own doesn't have to include people. Yeah, for example, automatic stuff and finding the best online version of it. That's very, very true. Sudsy says that's hard as a man to ask as well. Pride is a thick pill. Absolutely. Yeah. Sudsy, share. If you're down, Sudsy, share, because hearing your perspective would mean a lot. Because I can only speak for my own, and it's like Diana mentioned, as far as just like feeling Raylene said it, but superwoman syndrome is a lot. It absolutely is. I remember paying, it was probably like $1,000 altogether or something like that back in maybe 2019 or so. I went to this entrepreneurial conference in Atlanta, Georgia.
Ooh.
It was filled with nothing but Black people. It was phenomenal. I
Mhm.
don't even remember what business I was working on at the time. Okay, I don't remember, but I remember I was there from Friday, from
I love it.
Friday to Sunday, and I didn't go anywhere because I didn't know where I was, and it was just a lot. I think I went to like Del Taco like 3 times, but it was incredible to be in that space and to literally just be like, I don't know what I'm doing. Aaron was like, me neither. Let's talk about it. None of us know what we doing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but to think about like that kind of space being cultivated and to have those kind of candid, open conversations and people literally going up there and being like, yo, when I first started this, I did not know what I was doing either. So let me tell you about all the mistakes that I made.
This is what I've learned on my journey.
And my struggle through, because that's,
Mhm.
I understand that we have to struggle to get through it and struggle to understand. Like, we have to struggle in order to learn certain lessons. I completely understand that. But like Diana mentioned, when you're struggling through, and you also have to consider, am I going to be able to pay my rent this month? You know what I mean? Like, do I have the luxury of struggling right now? Because I don't have a 9-to-5 that's paying my bills. I don't. And
Right.
even if I were to get a 9-to-5 to pay my bills, now I have to consider, okay, who's going to watch my children? Who's going to homeschool DJ? Am I going to be able to even find childcare quick enough, you know, through the county? And then am I still going to be able to continue seeing my clients? Because my clients are all over. So when it comes to their time and their availability, am I going to be able to continue to see them on a schedule that works for both of us?
Right.
Given that I now have this new responsibility, like, am I going to be able to work from home? If I am going to be able to work from home, what does that look like? You know, do I have to be like, you know what I mean? There's just a lot. So there's a part, like you said, there's a huge part of you that's like, I need to make as much money as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
But, excuse me, I also know the detriment of allowing money only to drive you. Because if that's all you're seeking, it's not going to work. It's never going to work if money is the only thing that you are seeking. Because that leads to even worse than the, what was it? The scarcity mindset. It leads to desperation. And desperation does not breed. That leads you to like, I don't really want to work with this person, but I'm just going to work with them because they're willing to pay me.
You make poor business decisions.
Yep.
It's not, that's not, yeah, you make bad decisions, whether it be, it just, period. I'm going to leave it at that. I don't need to make it.
Right.
Y'all know what that mean by poor decisions.
Period. Right. Like, I know this person yelled at me and cussed me out, but they're willing to pay me. You know what I mean? I know this person insulted my character, but they're willing to pay me. And it's like, but at what cost? You know what I mean? Like, ugh.
Right. And striving only to make that dollar also takes away the joy of what you're building.
Exactly.
Like even if money is your joy, like I'm not poo-pooing on that. That can be your joy. There's no, to each their own. But even if money is your joy, eventually, by making that your sole purpose, whatever you're doing to get it is going to lose its value.
Yep.
And it will just become something that you dread, and you no longer enjoy or feel compelled to invest into, whether it be your money, your effort, your energy. And then what are you left with? A business built that you no longer give a damn about. Like, so yeah, just really reiterating, money cannot be your sole driver.
Yeah.
It just cannot.
It's true. I mean, in any aspect. Not just for entrepreneurs, but really for everyone. It can't.
Because again, like it ties it back to your worth, right? If that's your sole driver and something happens, you might still be doing everything right, but I'm thinking of like the real estate bubble or whatever. Something happens out of your control, and now that money is not what it used to be.
Yeah. And
you've tied that to your worth. What are you left to build yourself up with? If it's only coming from that external motivation, like it's not sustainable.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. It's definitely not sustainable.
Yeah, like that's it right there.
Yeah. So Raylene says, to be honest, I feel like it's hard to even start an entrepreneurial business if it's only for money. Usually it's driven from passion or a dream job, etc. And that is Grover's struggle. Grover so desperately wants his music to pay him. But when it comes to the other side of it, like the business side of it, it's just not his jam. It's just not his jam. And that's the struggle that a lot of people find themselves in. Like if you are already in the business of like creating courses or something that's already kind of a little bit more logical and a little less creative, you know, if we had to put it on that scale, then doing the logical like business part of it is going to be really difficult for you, and it's really difficult for him. And you know, I tell him all the time, there's so many things that you can do that you love to do that would help bring you money. Like you could teach people how to produce music. You could teach people how to do that. People will pay to learn how to use the program that you use and blah 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 blah. But in order to teach people, that means you got to market it.
Right.
So, and then he overthinks it, and he's like, well, should I write this? Should I write that? And I'm like, because I always ask him, like, what are you willing to do? Because I can create some stuff for you where you just post it, but you got to be willing to do it. You know, I'm like, you could literally just charge people to come and use your studio. Even if, so just using your studio will be one price. If they want you to actually mix and master, that's a whole nother. You know what I mean? Like, if this is what you want to bring you the money, you can still do exactly what you're doing. You can make your music, you can have your, you know, you can do whatever you're doing, but this is a way for music to pay you. And it's just, you know, I think he's battling heavily with himself in that aspect, because he wants it, because he's been in music for so long. He wants to, I think there's a part of him mentally that wants to just be able to say, yeah, I'm doing this, and everyone just like flock to him. When in reality, we all know that whatever you want to do,
build that momentum.
It has to be built. It has to be built, you know? And like Grover's uncle told me one time, the time is going to pass anyway. So why not start now? Even if you're starting small, even if you're starting, you don't know what to do, just start. Just do something. Just do something, you know? And I'm talking to myself now. Just freaking do something.
I know
Just do something.
Half the things I say in here, I'm talking to myself.
Right.
Like, let's be real. But yeah. Just start somewhere, right?
Like, just do something, you know? People just have, like, I've said it a bunch of times, give people opportunities to pay you. Make people aware that you have things that are available for purchase.
Yes, purchase the merch.
Yes, purchase the merch.
Sorry, you hit it.
So funny when DJ says it. So funny when he says it.
It really tickled me. I love that.
Sudsy said the lesson you learn in the struggle makes you better in the good times. My biggest lesson cost me $45,000, but it showed me who I thought was my best friend. It also showed me I can do it myself. Raylene said, I feel that too. I do teach music, which is a dream job, but I also want to put out music and live off that. Making music is such a huge process. It really is. It takes 100% of you. So it's really hard to also be your own videographer, photographer, social media marketer, etc. Like, even then, you might not make your financial goals. It's really hard, because music is so personal. And that's the biggest struggle right there, really. Like, you hit it on the head. Music is deeply personal. But the marketing aspect of it, it kind of can't be. It really has to be like we have to think about it like maths. It has to literally be just like whatever you're
and strategic and all the things that feel devoid of artistic creativity.
Exactly. Like it literally just has to be like this day and this input. Yeah, Raylene and Sudsy are here. Raylene and Sudsy, can you say hi to DJ? This day, this input. This day, this input. This day, this input. The frustration, of course, is that you can kind of measure the output, sort of, but your input has to be very specific. Like, you need to just tell people what you want from them. That's the biggest thing. Everyone's like, I don't know if I should talk about myself this much and my products as much. And it's like, yeah, you should. Because if I don't know that that's the sale, why would I ask you to buy it? Yes.
Truly.
Are you done?
Almost.
Yes, you are.
And
Look.
think about commercials.
Yeah.
They will show you the same commercial back to back with no qualm.
Hey, DJ.
They don't care. And on every commercial break, because they're advertising a service, and they are doing exactly what their job is, drawing you in there.
Yes, absolutely.
It's hard.
Yeah.
And something that was said in the chat, and I resonate with this so hard. It's like, every struggle that we have, it's like I learned so much from that. I benefited so much from that. And I feel that 1,000% because I have the same perspective about the things that I've gone through. However, I want us to stop normalizing that.
Yeah.
That we've got to go through this struggle to get any benefit out of it. Like that is simply not true. Yes, we get a lot of great things from it. We learn a lot of lessons from it.
Yeah.
But we do not have to struggle. Like struggle does not equal success.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like we do not have to like yes, I agree that like paying your dues is necessary. Like you've got to earn your way up, you've got to build all of that. Like you don't just need to be handed something.
Right.
But I don't think that we need to, struggle for struggle's sake, just to say like, yeah, I struggled to get here. Like we don't need that, and I
deserve it
as a
because I
society
struggled.
to stop normalizing that, right? Because I think that keeps us in this space of not being willing to ask for help because I'm expected to struggle. So
I was gonna say, where's the struggle in that? Even though asking for help is a struggle.
Exactly. Right. Like, I'm so mad at the time is because like, I could talk about this forever, but like, yeah, like yes, the struggle is real.
I put the struggle is not number on the date.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I want to stop normalizing that as a society. That you've got to struggle to succeed, or that your success is not meaningful if you did not struggle to get there. Because again, that keeps us from asking for help, but I think that also keeps us from, I think subconsciously that might keep us from offering help in ways that we might be able to help our community, or information and experience should not be hoarded.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that should be an open source, free resource type of a thing. Like we should not feel like, oh, I worked so hard to get this piece of information, so I can't share that with nobody else because they didn't earn it.
Stop rocking in the chair, please. It's too loud.
Like, it doesn't help anybody, and I don't know. That's my soapbox moment for the day.
Yes, DJ.
You're running out of time.
I'm running out of time. You said you weren't going to go to class. Are you going to go to class?
Not 8:30.
Are you going to go to class? Yes or no?
Where?
On your computer.
Yes, but I thought you were gonna play with me first.
No, I said after class.
I thought you were gonna play with me when you're done with the stream.
Because you said you weren't gonna go to class. Are you gonna go to class? Yes or no?
Which class?
Oh my goodness gracious. DJ, we're not talking about this right now, buddy.
I'm not laughing at you. Or your struggles. I'm not. Okay.
Y'all heard it here first. Diana laughing at my struggles.
I'm sorry. I lied to y'all.
Should we invite her back next week? No, I'm just playing.
I'm coming back anyway. I have the calendar invite.
Mommy.
So,
I'm coming back anyway.
Mommy.
Yeah. I don't
Midstream, she just pops up. Hey, y'all. I'm here.
Hey. Happy Wednesday.
It's 8:30.
I know it's 8:30, DJ. Oh my goodness. All right, y'all. Not you jinxing me. Get out, Hannah.
I'm coming back. Don't worry. I'll be here.
All right.
Eileen, you gotta move.
Coming back. Don't worry.
All right, loves. It's been a wonderful conversation. I appreciate y'all so much for sharing in the chat and for contributing. I think I'm going to post this one on YouTube just because I feel like it was a good conversation.
Mommy.
And yes, TJ.
Stop. You're gonna play with me. You better.
I better?
You have to play with me.
Why?
Because we have that pirate show. We can do some school at 9 o'clock.
Okay, go downstairs and I'll meet you down there.
Okay. Ouch.
You just got told.
Put it down.
It hurts for me.
Put it down, DJ. There's no reason for you to pick that up.
Okay.
DJ, go downstairs, please.
Is it this?
Go downstairs, please. What he meant to say was, I have to because I told him that I would. That's the real reason. He asked me earlier and I did say yes.
You still got told.
Right? I did. You're right. It's okay. I'm okay with it.
Okay.
It's the directness for me. You know what I mean? I will never have to ever assume, like, I wonder what DJ's feeling right now. No, he's going to tell me.
He knows what he wants and he's willing to tell you, and I love that.
Sudsy says, I agree with pour info into people. I do it to the guys at work. Last day is tomorrow, and I want them to get it like I know I'm about. And I want them to get it like I know I'm about. Change your life. for their future and yours. See, I can appreciate that. Being able to just pour into someone because you know that it would benefit them, not necessarily doing it because you want something out of it. And to believe it or not, these are the kinds of things that bring people your way. Bring abundance and all kinds of stuff your way. You know, these are the kinds of things that do it. Absolutely. Absolutely. So maybe that'll be my stream tomorrow, is what I've learned about, I don't know, social media marketing or some junk in the past couple months.
Hey,
because it's trash, y'all. That's the whole stream. It's trash. That's it. Any questions?
See, that's why I don't be on that. That's why I don't be in that madness. I'm telling you. Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
All right, y'all. It has been lovely. I appreciate you all. I hope you all have a beautiful day. Gotta go, otherwise I'm gonna get yelled at because my son holds me accountable for the things that I say.
Yes, look at you. You got an accountability partner.
Now I'm a term.
Yeah, nobody said that they were fun. I just said we need one.
Nobody
What's a reality
said
check? Nobody.
Me? No, I don't want that.
Oh my goodness.
I don't want it
This
at all.
has been wonderful. I love y'all. Can't wait to be back next Wednesday. And next Wednesday, got all lost in my words.
Really play the applause. Thank you for the applause, Randy. Thank you for the applause. All right, loves.
Thank you, everybody.
We will see you. Diane and I will see you next Wednesday. I will see y'all tomorrow. We're gonna talk about business things. All right. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Subscribe for my YouTube channel.
Subscribe to my YouTube channel.
And post the merch.
Don't forget.
Subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Don't forget to buy stuff.
Don't forget to buy stuff.
I love it. He's a great.
See you later.
All right, buddy. Stop streaming.
Okay.